I see their car radio is operating.
Yep, they got it working.
It's good to see
Hola.
them moving stealthily through
Hola,
town,
compa.
keeping this low key.
Oh, shit. Okay. Let me get the door, Rose. Let me get the door. And I ain't even gotta hit it. All she wanna do is watch a real nigga winning. Look me in my eye, there'll be no sin. Got a whole lot of women all over with it. Smooth in the motherfucker. Just wait on me inside. Can you think?
That's anything else.
Jesus.
Hell yeah! Well, I sure know how to make an entrance.
Call to order. First order of business. The attacks on the southeast. Have we all been experiencing the same?
Yep. Like I said, Roach and I just were victims to the last, I think the last attack here in town. It was not too long ago.
The Rangers. Well, I believe all of us are in some kind of agreement that actions must be taken.
Aye.
Agreed.
Well, since myself and Novak are the senior men of the providers of the Overlook, we propose a union of our groups.
Right. Is that an alliance strictly in regards to Rangers being a target or someone we need to defend against, or is this an alliance, a unity of the Southeast to come against anybody that attacks any of our three organizations?
Great question.
Well, I think I speak for the Overlook when I say that we would propose an alliance for any attack, as we have suffered many attacks in the last couple weeks. Not all have been the Rangers.
I agree.
Fair enough. Yep.
Aye.
So, I guess my next question would be, so I think that's a great idea. Unite the Southeast, and kind of if any of us are getting actively attacked, we can actively defend each other's territory. I think we know who each other are at this point, so it's pretty easy to identify newcomers to the area and people that shouldn't be there. So I think that's a good idea. But I guess my question is, do we all agree to be going, out of our way to make sure, to do what needs to be done to protect each other's territory? Are we willing to put people down, full force if necessary?
You see,
Well, go ahead,
that's
Captain.
also a worry us pirates have. You see, we fought the Rangers many a time before, eh? They seem to be the main culprits in question. You see, some Overlook I've spoken to. No problems with the Tulligans. I fought side by side with those many a times. But we know the Overlook, eh? Some of them, we speak with them, eh? Never killed a man. How could you expect to fight the Rangers and enforce this sort of southeast you talk of with a bunch of farmers, eh? Will you do the dirty work? Or will that be down to us and the Tulligans? Eh?
You pose a very fair question, and I wish to answer it with two parts. First off, wars are won not only by the men on the front lines, but by logistics, and what we lack in firepower we make up for in supply, support, and logistical ability. The second part is, though we have walked the path of peace, and Mother is mercy, Mother also has wrath and fury, and now is time for those who have dare set foot upon all of our sacred lands, for them to know that there's strength in the Southeast, and we are ready to answer the call.
I have a question, man.
Yes.
So, are we willing to go, so if we confirm that there is a said group attacking constantly, like, let's say Rangers, right? And we do have confirmation as to their location, are you willing to support us in proactive measures as well as defensive? Is my question.
That is an answer that I would never push a provider to make, and one that each of them would have to make individually. I myself am ready to answer the call. What say you, Alexander?
I have been ready for many, many months, perhaps longer than any other provider, to become proactive in keeping the Southeast secure.
Yes, I have sensed the force is great in this one. Was it? I don't know about you, but I like the smell of him.
Overlook finally growing a spine, eh?
Providers, if you're willing to be proactive in offensive capabilities, please raise your hands. I believe that
I'm ready
is
to
100% all hands on deck.
one way or the other.
I dig it. I dig it.
I dig it too. Yep. That's what we need. We need everybody, a unity. I think a proper unity, a proper alliance means that we're all willing to do what's necessary in each other's territory. You dig? So I think the fact that everybody has agreed here today that we're willing to put our lives on the line to protect each other and peace in the Southeast, as they would say, then I think we're in a pretty good spot. Although my last point is there is one other group, at least, that I know of in the Southeast as well. They live on the island, right? The Reapers. So we should keep in mind that they are a group in the Southeast as well, but I think it's better to consider this more of a trifecta, between the Overlook, the Pirates, and Tulsa.
We don't mind the Reapers, eh?
Party.
We don't like
We're
them.
more established. Sorry.
Oh, understandable.
They live out on Skalitsky.
Occupying Skalista.
Our island, they're occupying it. They don't live there.
Fair
Yeah, I
enough.
think we can keep this treaty to a continental sort of southeastern alliance.
Yes.
One thing I would like to interject is to explain our neutral zone rules and how we have been conducting ourselves for the past few days.
Please.
You see, our providers have suffered many losses to very strange people with apparently no reason. As such, we have instructed them to begin checking anyone they do not know when they come into our camp for ammo, weapons, and such. Nothing is taken, but their guns are unloaded, and they are instructed to keep them away. No warning is given. If they draw, they are put down. Simply put, zero tolerance.
Okay.
Well, we have no problem with that, eh?
Of course, now that this alliance appears to be in place, you are all welcome to have your firearms out should there be any type of altercation.
Ahoy! That's great
But-
news there.
I would add something, if you mind. Just wanted to say that it's a defensive alliance. So we're protecting each other from aggression, and if we need, we attack those who attack us. But if one of you attacks somebody or group which has not attacked you, I will not support you. Like, this is a defensive alliance, not an offensive.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
We'll
Sure,
keep our
understood.
dirty laundry in our, our hamper. You keep your dirty laundry in your hamper. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like someone coming to the region and fucking shit up, causing chaos, I think we're on board and keeping the universe aligned. I think in that aspect.
Right.
Indeed.
Pirates. What have you to say? Because I know that you like robbing people, creating some mess, having sometimes some bad behaviors. What is your reaction about what I said? Do you agree?
We've already agreed on that, eh? We keep it down in the neutral zone. Electro is ours. The Overlook look the wrong way, eh? We've discussed this already.
Indeed. Well, of course, Electro is not a part of the neutral zone. Therefore, we have no skin in the game, so to speak, with the actions of the pirates outside of the neutral zone.
It's a good point from Nathan. Like if people are getting involved in shit, others should not be expected to step in and help them deal with their dirty laundry. You know what I mean? So I think that's important, but I think the most important part is if anybody comes on the offensive into any of our 3 territories, that we're willing to protect each other first and ask questions later about why that might have been.
Yes.
We also need to share information as well with each other, eh? About any hostilities that are occurring, eh?
Exactly.
I believe all of these agreements are more than appropriate. If anyone comes to any of our borders creating problems, Mother's wrath will fall down upon their heads harder than anything they have ever experienced.
I know that you folk have been doing your own investigations into their
Yarg.
attacks, eh? And their motives, eh? Now we've been performing pirate activities, eh? Doing our own sniffing around. Sneaky pirates we are. I think the Rangers are gonna be less of a problem than they were before, eh?
See.
Ooh. Very impressive.
Ah,
Oh.
I think Oz has something
shit.
that like looks something just like similar. That's for sure.
You see,
Nice job, Captain. Proud of you.
the pirates found the Rangers' gold, eh? We took it all and destroyed the rest.
excellent work, Captain.
Good job, boys.
Now let's just say it had lots and lots of things to fight wars with, eh? I'm glad we found it. And I hope the Overlook are ready for war, eh?
So while we're all here, I think that this might be the best opportunity to, get any existing information that may become useful to each other. Get it out there now while we're all here. So perhaps I will start because this is something that actually happened at the Overlook, but I haven't had a chance to share that information yet. But shortly after the Ranger attack, maybe 48 hours, me and an associate of mine, Bart, and another guy called Alfie, we were approaching the Overlook through the forest right beside the hay bale. And right as we were approaching, we saw another group approaching the barn, guns out and everything, full speed, full force, like 4 or 5 of them, heavily armed, plate carriers, wanderer armbands. And they right away were coming in full force. So of course we pulled our weapons as well, not just going to walk into them hands down. And that turned into a firefight extremely quickly. As soon as they spotted us in the forest, we were severely injured. I'm not sure if anybody in the Overlook was injured that day, but the Wanderers have definitely been in the southeast and definitely with aggression as well. So they're probably one of the people I'd keep an eye out for.
Yes,
Yes.
that is accurate.
I know Doc has been robbed and shot, injured severely. I also have been injured, perhaps from a similar group named the Wanderers. Barnaby spoke of a understanding he came to with them, but if they're still coming into our territory so aggressively, I don't believe they understand.
Well, and I'll add
Indeed.
on the topic of the Wanderers. I was out west recently visiting Vigil, and as I was there, someone came into Sanctuary. I believe he said he was from the Fish and Game Department. And long story short, he was out west, and the Wanderers, are laying claim to pretty much the entire western woods, and they're shooting and killing anyone on sight who crosses that river. So, yeah, they seem to be playing a pretty aggressive game lately, and I would definitely say take caution against any sight of Wanderers, and I'm going to take that agreement of a peace treaty or whatever pretty lightly and with a grain of salt.
Well, I'd like to add on to that as well. The same situation. Wanderers were here twice. Both times they attempted robbery. They demanded that Doc give up his armband, which of course he scoffed at, because in absolutely no situation would we give up our armband. They demanded that he do this, and when he refused, they shot him and took it anyway. So perhaps they are collecting armbands for possible false flags.
And we have lost quite a few armbands, just so you all are aware. At least 5 to 6, I would say.
It appears that the Overlook itself is the target of some type of offensive campaign. By who, we do not know.
So
Yeah,
now
while
it's
we're
the
on the subject,
Wanderers,
fellas.
eh? Instead of the Rangers. Is that right?
It would
I believe
appear
it's
so, yes,
both.
sir.
Yeah, maybe not instead of, but in addition to.
Well, we don't really have much of a relationship with Wanderers. Maybe we can use that as a way to, you know, see what they want, eh? Down here in the southeast.
Maybe
What their problem is.
gather some intel.
Yes, I
Aye.
think they would very much respect your perspective of things, perhaps. Yes.
One more thing
Right.
before we go, eh? To make sure we keep this unity strong, eh? This treaty. I suggest we meet once a month, eh? Or maybe every 6 weeks. Hash any differences out. Information,
Yeah.
eh? Aye, we'll try and speak with the Wanderers, eh? See what their problem is. The southeast. The problem seems to be centered around Tulga and Staroy, not as much Poster. So we'll do some patrols around the area as well, eh? And if anyone we see, well, we're pirates, so you know what happens next, eh?
Yes, yes, and we will make sure to widen our patrols to include both Pusta and Tolga as well. We will do our best to keep our land safe.
So it's guns
Peace
out
in the
now,
southeast.
eh? Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Yard, Captain.
Growth is
May
hope,
death
gentlemen.
keep it. Yes, may
Cap-
death keep its distance from you all.
Take this with you.
Yes,
Might need it.
growth
Hope
is
it's out,
hope.
baby. I liked it.
Alright, let's go. See you next time.
All right, boys.
Bye.
Peace in the southeast.
Goodbye, Gallivant. Always such
Stay
a
safe.
pleasure seeing you. So
Growth is hope.
handsome. Smoke that dope.
Alright, who wants a ride? Come with me to the Zarka. You guys can put the music if you want.
So it seems you've returned, Justin.
Yeah, made my way out west. Saw there was a note from Luna. Went to vigil and yeah, tried to hopefully keep the heat off of Steroy, but it sounds like that was a failed attempt on my part.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working.
You've been gone a very long time. And when you left us, well, there were some strange things. We have questions.
Please proceed into the church, Justin.
Okay.
Novak, you have the floor.
Yes. When we were last all together, many revelations were made about you and your doings with the cult of Papa. Your soul was compromised, and then you disappeared, friend. Where have you been?